Hey guys, it's Eddie here again from DilleenProperty, and today I'm talking about getting finance and financing your property portfolio. I have a lot of people, quite frequently ask me what I look for when I go for a investment loan. So I've got 13 properties in my portfolio at the moment, and building a portfolio and creating wealth and investing in property, in my experience, is half the battle is actually just getting the finance. Coming up with deposits, getting the loans across the line, and all that kind of stuff. Most people, when it comes to finance, they only look at the interest rate and they're just wanting the lowest interest rate. For me at the moment, and over the last few years that I've been buying lots of property, I don't even focus on the interest rate. So whether it's you can get it for 3.8 or 4%, 4.5%, 5%, I would not focus on that at all. What matters most to me is what bank I go with, in terms of the back-end policies and how quickly I can usually release equity from that property. Say if I buy an amazing deal, I pick it up below comparable sales, I want to use the equity in that property to buy another one. It's really about, for me, and how I've grown my portfolio really quickly, to get 13 properties by 26 years old, from starting from scratch, is really finding out, buying properties that are below comparable sales and below market value, and then get them revalued. So the back-end policies that matters to me when it comes to banks, I usually stick with the big four banks. So the big four banks, I usually would always, if I were to start again, I'd definitely stick with them first. Buy your first 5, 10 properties, and then move on to other lenders. The back-end policies which I'm talking about is how quick you can actually get an order evaluation on that property. Some banks, they'll say you can only order evaluation after 12 months. So some of the small lenders, and so all those things have a big impact on, if you buy a really good property, you got the equity in it, how long do you have to wait to get that equity out of it? What banks, what kind of banks do different, all different banks do different valuations as well. So that's another thing. So some banks only do full valuations, which a lot of the times are very ultra conservative, and some other banks, they do desktop valuations, drive-by valuations, statistical data like CMA valuations. So all different types of valuations, and depending on which bank you go with. And I guess getting the finance across the line, they all have different borrowing capacities and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of things to think about, and for me, it's definitely not about just who has the better interest rate. And I speak to a lot of people, and it's something I think that you should be very, very careful of, depending on what bank you go with. If you just aim for the best interest rate, depends on what your goals are. But for me, it's always been to, own a lot of property, hold millions and millions of dollars of property and create as much wealth as possible. And, if you want to continue buying property, you got to think differently than what everyone else thinks. And you've got to, learn from people who have actually done it before. So I guess, that's just my thoughts on finance, in terms of what you should look for when going for a property loan. So I hope that's, maybe it changed your mindset a little bit about what to look for, not just about trying to aim for the lowest interest rate, but there's a lot of other things to factor in, in terms of your strategy, moving forward and long term, what your goals are. You got to factor all that kind of stuff in as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next video. See ya.